Welcome back, everybody. It is Saturday, January 11th, 2025. As you can see, got a little bit of snow here on the ground. There's a little bit more falling as well. It's supposed to keep snowing until later this afternoon. So today is the perfect day to hang out inside, stay warm, and make a big batch of soup. I think that's the plan. All right, well, can't say I really wanted to go drive around in this weather, but I don't have the salt-free can of tomatoes that I need for the recipe. So I guess I'm gonna zip up to the store and grab that and a couple other things that I'm gonna need over the next few days. I might as well get it out of the way. The plows have gone through my neighborhood anyway, so it looks like I can get out of my neighborhood at least. No problem. We'll see how the main roads are though. All right, we got briefly distracted there by work, but we're back in the kitchen, ready to whip up some soup. So let's cover the ingredients just quickly here. We have 1 cup of lentils. I'm just using regular brown lentils in this case. We have 1 whole onion. I'm using a yellow onion that I'm gonna dice up here. We got carrots. Now, the recipe calls for 2 whole carrots. I'm using baby carrots, so I've got it figured out that you use about 5 or 6 baby carrots for each whole carrot, so I have a total of 12 baby carrots there. We have 2 stalks of celery. In the back here we have our can of no salt added crushed tomatoes. You can use diced tomatoes if you want, or whatever. And in here we have our seasoning. So we have salt, 1/4 teaspoon, black pepper, also a 1/4 teaspoon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. All right, over here we have 1/2 teaspoon of oregano and a whole teaspoon of thyme. And in this guy we have some garlic. In this case I'm using some previously crushed garlic that I put in the freezer. This is meant to be about 2 cloves of garlic. And then last but not least, we have our no salt vegetable broth. This is the one that we made in the video the other day. We have 4 cups of that. That's it. Pretty simple ingredients here. Let's get going. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is saute the carrots, onions, and celery. And we're gonna do that in the Instant Pot. So I put it on mine it's called sear. On other Instant Pots it might be called something else. I'm gonna throw in a splash of vegetable broth there. That way we stay away from using oil in this recipe. Okay, now this is going to cook for about 5 minutes. We're going to be stirring it. Okay, so at this point, our vegetables have about a minute left to saute, so I'm going to throw in the garlic. We're gonna cook that with the veggies here for about another minute. We're gonna keep stirring it. Make sure that garlic gets in there. It spreads out. Okay, now it's time to put the rest of the ingredients in. We'll start with our tomatoes here. Lentils, thyme and oregano, salt, pepper, red pepper flakes, and of course our no salt vegetable broth. All right, let's give this a quick stir before we start it up. Okay, let's get this closed and sealed up. Now we're gonna cook this on high for 15 minutes, and then we're gonna let it naturally release for an additional 15 minutes, at which point if there's any pressure left in there, we're gonna go ahead and release it all. Let's get it started. Okay, so all the pressure has been released out at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. Let's take a look. Okay, let me scoot the camera in a little bit here. Came out nice and thick, which is just what we wanted. Okay, so I wanted to get a little bit more of a close-up shot of the soup here. You can see how thick it is. Looks excellent. I'm just waiting for it to cool down so I can eat it at this point. All right, so while I'm waiting for the soup to cool off so I can eat it here, let's cover the nutritional information of the recipe per serving. So per serving, you're looking at 184 calories, 1 gram of fat with 0 saturated fat, 0 cholesterol obviously. Sodium 225 milligrams. Now it could be a little lower if you take out the 1/4 teaspoon of salt that we added in. If you wanted to go even lower sodium, you could do that. As it stands though, 225 milligrams for a serving of soup isn't too terrible as far as sodium content goes. Carbohydrates 34 grams. Total fiber 14 grams, which is 50% of your daily value, by the way, just in, one serving of this soup. Sugar 4 grams, nothing added obviously. Protein 11 grams, pretty awesome per serving. All right, moving on to vitamins and minerals. Calcium 65 milligrams. Iron 3 milligrams, which is 17% of your daily value. A lot of that's coming from the lentils. Potassium 489 milligrams. Magnesium 44 milligrams. Phosphorus 176 milligrams. Vitamin C 13 milligrams, which is 14% of your daily value, and also will help you absorb the 3 milligrams of iron. All right, that's it. Okay, here we go. Let's give it a shot. Now I added in the red pepper flakes. That was obviously optional, as I put on the screen there. But on a day like today when it's super cold out, having that extra kick of heat, in my opinion, always helps. This is like the easiest lentil soup recipe ever. And it's one of the best that I've ever made. I've had several variations of lentil soup recipes before. I'm sure they're all over in my videos if you search for them, but this is probably the best version that I've ever done. And this is a low sodium version, so if you added more salt, it'd probably be even better, of course. Also, by the way, just like I did in the last video, because I did it in an Instapot in this video, and not everybody uses an Instant Pot, I'm also gonna have the stovetop version of this recipe and the slow cooker version of this recipe in the description as well. So all 3 versions will be in there for anybody who wants to make it however they want. What I'm trying to come up with is a name for the soup. I have a few ideas in mind. I've ran it past Inga. I've ran it past my AI assistant. So right now the name for the soup is Garden Patch Pottage, which isn't terrible. It's just that a lot of people might not know what pottage is. I guess I can explain it here. Hey Emma, can you break down the word pottage and give us a definition? I'm referring to the word pottage, which is in our recipe, Garden Patch Pottage.
Absolutely, Christopher. The word pottage comes from the Old French word potage, which simply meant soup. Definition: a thick, hearty soup or stew that's full of vegetables and often includes grains or legumes. Historically, pottage was a simple, peasant dish made with whatever ingredients were available. It was a staple food for many cultures for centuries. In our recipe, Garden Patch Pottage, we're using the word to evoke that sense of wholesome, hearty goodness. It's a celebration of fresh, seasonal vegetables simmered together to create a nourishing and flavorful soup.
Okay, there you have it. It's better than I could have said it. Okay, In all honesty though, the soup's great. I'm gonna have another bowl of this. I'm gonna watch a movie and relax for the night. I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video here at the end of the recipe. Thanks everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Till next time, take care. I don't know. I'm just not sold on the name of the recipe.
Christopher, we've already named the soup. We've been over this. Shall we move on to grander things? Etheria awaits.
Okay, Etheria, but Garden Patch Pottage? I don't know. It sounds too close to Garbage Pail Kids or something.
It sounds fine, and it's pretty much set in stone now anyway.
Wait, how do you figure that?
You said the name of the recipe in the video, didn't you?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Once again, Christopher, you're incorrect, and by a mile, I might add. Of course, I'm happy to explain why. Please, grab yourself a cup of tea and have a seat. This is going to take some time. Now, when something is spoken on camera, it becomes set in stone. Think of it this way. The stone opens up when the words are spoken on camera, and the words climb right inside the stone. It's the natural order of things, you see. Christopher, are you paying attention?
Hey there! Pat yourself on the back for making it this far into Chris's video. These vlogs of his can get pretty lengthy sometimes. Anyway, don't forget to like this video and please click the subscribe button. It's always free and it is the best way to support content creators like Chris the plant-based runner. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, safe travels.